Hey guys, thanks again for joining us today for our live Q&A application tips and tricks for the Graduate College here at Arkansas Tech University. My name is Caitlin Beard and I'm the Graduate Admissions Officer here at Arkansas Tech. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. We have a little presentation for y'all. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to ask our two other panelists here to introduce themselves.
Well, I'll step in and do that. I am Dr. Melinda Wilkins, and I am the program director for the Health Informatics program, and that is a master's program here at Arkansas Tech.
Hi, my name is Peng Huang. Yeah, I'm an associate professor of finance and economics. Yeah, I'm a director of the MBA program at Arkansas Tech University.
Go through the admissions requirements for the Graduate College. We're going to share some tips and tricks from our awesome program directors here that are joining us. I'm going to go over how to apply to the Graduate College, and then at the end, we're going to have some time left for any questions that you may have if you want to ask the program directors or ask me or anything like that. So just want to quickly go through these. You can view all of our admissions requirements on the Graduate College homepage, but you will have to have a bachelor's degree from an accredited university. You have to have a cumulative GPA of 2.5 or a 3.0 in the last 30 hours. Or if you already hold a graduate degree, that is fine too. We do have to have official transcripts. There's a $40 application fee that you must pay, and then several programs have additional admissions requirements that you must meet for admission. Both programs for Dr. Wilkins and Dr. Wong have additional requirements, but these are just the base requirements for the Graduate College. And not to forget that often students can be admitted conditionally into programs. If you don't meet all of those requirements, don't let it scare you off. Here at Tech, we are really try to look at the students holistically in making that admissions decision. So don't think that you don't have a chance at being admitted. Definitely talk to those program directors. We're going to talk about that later. So some of these additional requirements that you may see for one of the programs that you're interested in is a resume or a CV. Some programs do have a higher GPA requirement, whether that be like a 2.75 or a 3.0. Some programs require letters of recommendation from former professors or something like that. Others require a statement of purpose or a letter of intent. Some require test scores. And then for all of our own campus face-to-face programs, you must submit proof of an MMR vaccine prior to enrollment. So we're just going to go through some tips and tricks first. So regarding letters of recommendation, just making sure on these letters of recommendation that you know exactly what they're looking for. Making sure that, are they asking for an academic letter of recommendation? Are they wanting like former professors to talk about your ability in the classroom? Are they asking for a more of a professional type letter of recommendation? Some of our education programs, like our Masters in Ed Leadership, they are asking to make sure that you are a leader in the classroom and that you will be a great candidate in this program to be a future leader in schools and things like that. So just making sure that you know what kind of letter that they are looking for. Make sure that you're giving the people that you're asking to write these letters of recommendation for an ample amount of time. If the deadline is on Monday, don't ask them on Friday afternoon to write a letter of recommendation. Definitely give them a heads up. And also, it's a good thing to, share some information about yourself. If you haven't seen your professor in 2 or 3 years, and you had several classes with them and they probably know a lot about you, but definitely you might want to include a current resume because there's some things that they may not know about you. When I was applying to graduate school, I had to have letters of recommendation, and I just gave them some talking points that they may want to share in that letter of recommendation for me, just some highlights that they may not have known about me that could definitely help. And then for Arkansas Tech, you will have to request those letters of recommendation from the application portal. So you won't ask them to write the letter and give it to you or to mail it in to the Graduate College. So you'll just enter their name and emails on that website, and they will send the recommenders an email asking them to upload it. And so then you're done from that stage. I'm going to let Dr. Wilkins speak about statement of purpose.
So you can see by the title of this, it's a statement of purpose and letter of intent. And just kind of a heads up that it could be called two different things, or, the baseline is that we need to know, what are you hoping to accomplish through going through this program? And that's why we need it. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that your educational experience is a positive one. And so this letter of intent or statement of purpose helps us to know, first of all, what's your background? What do you have coming into the program? I know we require this for our health informatics, and some of the other programs require it as well. And it's so valuable to me when I get these, because it helps me to see what your goals are. What do you hope to accomplish? And how do you hope to use this degree in your career? And by doing this, it helps with advising. I can look and see, if you're, whatever area that you're particularly interested in, can help you get the right electives that are going to help you accomplish the goals. So one of the things that I'd like to say is don't take this as a make or break thing. It's something that's helpful for you and it's helpful for us, because we can help make your experience a good one. And I found that, knowing this, and I go back to this with advising time and time again, and it really does help to help me guide you as the student and having a good experience.
And Dr. Wong, if you want to discuss test scores.
Yes, I'm going to talk about the GRE and the GMAT requirement for the graduate admissions. For the GMAT, it's a graduate management admission test. So it's a standardized test for the graduate and the program, management program, such as MBA. So it will check the students' the skill in terms of the 4 different areas, which include quantitative reasoning, verbal reasoning, integrated reasoning, and also writing. So the range of the score for the GMAT is from 200 to 800 points. And for the GRE is the graduate recorded examination managed by the ETS. So it's a standardized test for the many graduate programs, which include like science, engineer, the social science, humanity, management, and the business. And the GRE test include 3 different parts: the quantitative reasoning, verbal reasoning, analytical writing. So the range of the score for the first 2 parts is from 130 to 170. The score for the writing is from 0 to 6. So if you apply for the program, you need to find out the detailed information about the GRE and the GMAT test. Some of the programs at Arkansas Tech University do not require a GRE or GMAT score. For example, the master program for history, they do not require any GRE or GMAT score. And some of the program may require either GRE or GMAT test score, or both. For example, for a master program for a mechanical engineer, they require GRE score. So they will look at the quantitative reasoning part. So you, as a student, you scored need to meet certain minimum requirement for the quantitative reasoning. Another example is the MBA program at Arkansas Tech University. The program will require both GRE and or GMAT score. And the MBA program will look at the quantitative reasoning part as well as the verbal reasoning part. But we do not look at the student writing part. So if you apply for the program, as Kathleen mentioned previously, you may get accepted into the program unconditionally. So for example, if you're a student, you undergraduate, the GPA meet a certain requirement, you may be accepted into the program unconditionally, and you are not required to take a GRE or GMAT test. And of course, if you get admitted into the program conditionally, you may be required to provide a GRE or GMAT score. And you can, so if you apply for a program, in addition to the unconditional admission, you can also pay attention to some waiver for GRE or GMAT tests. So I would like to, again, use the MBA program as an example. If you have a certain years of the working experience, like 5 years managerial experience, or you have some professional title like CFA, CPA title, then you can get a waiver for the GRE or GMAT test. So if you want to find out the detailed information of the GRE or GMAT test, the first thing you can do is to go to the program, the website, and find out the detailed information. You can also look at the graduate college K-log, and simply you can search the graduate college K-log ATU on the search engine. You will find out. And another important source for you to find out the GRE or GMAT test information is you can contact the program director, and you can send email or call the program director, ask the question. Yeah, so the program director at Arkansas Tech University, we are very happy to assist the student if the student need help. And of course, once you get accepted into the program, and the program director will continue to assist you if you need any help, or if you have any questions. So that's the reason we said, connection mattered. And again, we will be very happy to assist you, like Dr. Wilkinson and I here. Anytime you have a question, just feel free to contact us.
Thank y'all for sharing that. And make sure if y'all have any questions to be sending those in the chat, and we'll answer those at the end. So just quickly want to go over how to apply. So you can just go to atu.edu/apply-graduates. Make sure that you select the correct application type. If you're applying to a business program, you'll select business. Any of our engineering programs, you'll select engineering, nursing. If you're not applying to any of those programs, it's going to fall in the all other graduate programs link. So make sure that you are selecting the correct one for the correct term that you are wanting to apply. So you will actually be taken to a separate application site. It does kind of scare students because they are redirected to a separate site. So that is the correct one. You will create an account there, and make sure when you create that account that you jot down your username and password somewhere, because you will have to go and log back in to upload additional documents or anything like that. If you want to come back later, make sure you're saving that username and password. So next, this is what your application kind of homepage will look like. There are basically what we call 4 quadrants. So you will upload, all of your personal information. There's some required questions you have to ask. You have to upload like your transcripts, other supporting documents. Basically those 4 quadrants, you can kind of see here on the screen that it's partially completed. When you think that you're done, you will go to this screen and you will make sure that all 4 quadrants are completely green. If you think you've done everything and there's not one that's completely green, just go back through your application, check again. And you can always give us a call and we can look at it and say, oh, you forgot this one question on this page. It happens all the time. But when you do get ready to submit that, you will go to submit application, pay that $40 fee, and then it will come to us. And so just want to throw out some quick reminders that March 1st is the priority deadline for fall admission, and then October 1st is the priority deadline for spring admission. That is a very upcoming date. So don't let that scare you away at all. That is just our priority deadline. We still accept applications, through August for fall. As long as there are open seats in those programs, we will accept applications for those. But we do have a new $500 tuition waiver. If you do apply by March 1st and are admitted unconditionally, There are a few other stipulations and things, but you may be eligible to receive a $500 tuition waiver. So these are first come, first serve. So make sure that you get the application in by March 1st or October 1st, depending on when you're wanting to enroll. Another thing to keep in mind is that when you are applying, you don't have to upload your official transcripts then. You can upload an unofficial copy, a screenshot, whatever. And same for your proof of vaccination. We can get those later once you're admitted. You will need those prior to enrollment, but we can get those on the back end because especially now with COVID-19, it does take a little bit more time to get those documents and things. So we're trying to be flexible with our students and helping y'all get those, when you can. Another thing for any of our Arkansas Tech University students, you don't have to worry about those at all. We can go and get those for you. We have access to that already, so we can definitely get those for you. And that's just one less step that you have to worry about. And just keep in mind that we are here to help. Any questions about the application, you can text or call this number right here. I'm going to be the one answering, so you can definitely reach out if you have any questions. There's no stupid questions about the application. There's some things that don't make sense that, you may have a question about, and you want to make sure that your application is good to go before we send that to the program director for review. And that's what we're here for, is to help you get everything together and make sure that, your application is complete. So definitely, don't hesitate to reach out to us if you do have those questions. So I think the last thing is, if there are any questions, be sure to send those in the chat. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and if you have any questions, we can ask those now. So I'll just ask a question to keep it going. For Dr. Wilkins, what is the biggest mistake that students make on their statement of purpose?
Probably the biggest mistake is going into a little too much detail. I love to hear about, your background, your career so far, what you hope to gain, but I probably don't need to know like the names of your dogs and, stuff like that. Although, as I get to know my students, we usually have all kinds of conversations, and I like to know the, professional, things that they want to do to advance their career. So, but that usually doesn't include like that kind of stuff. That's probably the biggest mistake.
Good to know. So another question that was posed is, what do you look for in letters of recommendation? Unfortunately, Dr. Wilkins and probably fortunately for you guys applying, they do not require letters of recommendation for their programs. Several of our programs do. I will say, that the professors, in my opinion, the program directors, they are looking for, to make sure that you are capable of starting graduate level work. They want the perspective from a professor who has had you in class, who has maybe worked with you on a research project. Basically, they are saying this person is capable, this person will do well in your program, and I think they will succeed. Dr. Wong or Dr. Wilkins, y'all may have some more tips to share on that. But
No, I agree. I think you want to make yourself shine in a professional way, that, this is what you've accomplished so far, and that you have aspirations to accomplish more. And I think when you have letters of reference, that's what you want to underscore.
Great. So another question is, if I'm just getting started, is it too late to get everything done? So for the March 1st deadline, if that's what you're asking about, I would say no. We have all night tonight and tomorrow. You can work on it over the weekend, and you can definitely, as long as everything is in on your end, you'll be fine. And we will look at it when you submit that. We will look at it and make sure that everything is there before we submit it to the program director. But no, I don't think so. And especially for some of the programs that don't have, the letters of recommendation and all of that extra stuff, you can definitely get it done in time. You have all weekend. So, another question. What's one thing you want a potential graduate student to know about your program? Do you want to share that?
I can jump in. I just a little bit of a background on our program in health informatics. As I've worked in the field and worked with people around, other volunteers, I found that there's been, people have background in healthcare, people have background in IT, but there wasn't like an educational program that addressed both of those. And so that's why we started the program. And I have absolutely loved watching our students come through with all different kinds of backgrounds, and then going out into the field and doing some wonderful, wonderful things that have helped in healthcare and in IT. And so, the thing that I like to emphasize with people that are considering the health informatics program is that, we like to individualize it so that it best fits your needs. And it's not like, oh, you graduate by, I stay in touch with a lot of the graduates, and they keep me informed on what they're doing. And, they'll tell me, we're looking for somebody with this kind of background. Do you know any graduates? And, it's a lifetime thing. It's not just you come to school and you graduate and you're gone. And I think that's the same for a lot of the other programs as well.
Dr. Juan, do you want to add something?
Yes, I would like to talk a little bit about our MBA program. Yeah, our MBA program offers 3 different track and concentration. So which include the general business track, the digital marketing track, and as well as the business data analytic track. The last 2 track really focus on helping the student develop the data analytic skill. And everyone know in today's world, you have to look at the data, you have to use the data to make the business decision. So our program, these 3, the concentration and track really focus on helping the student develop these very important skills.
Thank y'all for sharing those. So we had one other question, and they asked, when is the best time to apply? In my opinion, the sooner the better. If you're looking for graduate assistantships, if you're looking for other like scholarships and funding opportunities, the sooner you can apply, the sooner you can start searching for those, the sooner we can, help get you matriculated into your program, the sooner the program director can start working with you on your course of study and things like that. So definitely, I would say as soon as possible. For fall, now is the perfect time, with March 1st being the priority deadline. And of course, if you are looking to apply for next spring or even next fall, definitely I would start, at least a month out before that priority deadline, making sure that you have all your materials ready to go, that if you need letters of recommendation, that you're contacting those people and asking them for those. I would say, a month out, just to be sure. Again, it's not too late to get your application in or anything. And again, we're still accepting applications for fall up, through August, as long as there's seats available. So definitely, I'll let Dr. Wong and Dr. Wilkins add into that if y'all have any purview into that.
I think we all kind of work together on getting all those processed, and we're good to work with you.
Okay, we have one more question, and this will be the final question, is how important is it to meet the minimum requirements to be accepted? Are there ever exceptions made? So y'all want to answer that?
I know in our program, there have been times where someone falls just a little bit short of one of the requirements, and that's what the conditional admission is for. And so we work with each one on an individual basis. And if it's a little bit behind, then it's like, let's give it a try. And honestly, I think almost every time it's worked out just fine. We understand that there's a few things that happen in your lives, and there's a lot of stuff ahead that can be even better.
Yeah, for the MBA program, yeah, as I mentioned before, we just updated our admission policy. So we allow the student, if they cannot meet the minimum requirement for unconditional admission, but if they have other certain backgrounds, such as the professional working experience, professional title, or have some other master degree, then we will still admit the student conditionally into our program.
Great. And it's not just these 2 programs. A lot of our programs, most of our programs have a conditional admission policy. So don't think that if if the requirement is a 3.0 and you have a 2.99, that you don't stand a chance for it to be admitted. Definitely talk to that program director. That is what is so important, is that these program directors are the ones who are making decisions, or, their admissions committees, and they are the people that you will be working with throughout your graduate career. And so making sure that you are reaching out to them, introducing yourself, put your face to your application or your virtual photo or whatever that may look like. Just making sure that you're trying to make those connections. If you have those specific questions that I have a 2.99 and not a 3.0, make sure that you reach out to those program directors. If you have other questions that I can help you with, we are always here to help you guys. So I think that was all of the questions, and it is almost 4:30, so right on time. If you do have any other questions, we will drop our email in the chat. It's graduateadmissions@atu.edu, or you can give us a call, drop the phone number on there as well. If y'all have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Again, if you're interested in our 100% online Master in Business Administration program, 3 different concentrations, are our 100% online Master of Science in Health Informatics program. These are 2 great program directors that we have that took their time out today to speak with you all. And so they would definitely love to speak with you even further about their programs. So definitely reach out to them if you have any questions. And thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next time for our next live Q&A session.